Remember my $1,000,000 bonfire? I learned more from that failure than from a dozen easy successes. Leadership in the age of AI is not about command and control. It's about curiosity and courage. Your job is no longer to have all the answers. Your job is to ask the best questions. Thank you for joining me on this journey. We've covered the new customer mandate, demystified AI as a powerful tool, and walked through the super framework for turning data into speed, understanding, performance, experimentation, and finally, real-world results. The ground is shifting beneath our feet, but you are no longer standing on the sidelines. You have the map. You have the tools. This isn't the end of your work. It's the beginning of your superhuman innovation. Now, go ask a better question.
That same client calls, but this time it's different. This time when they ask about AI, I don't have silence. I have a framework. I draw 5 letters on the whiteboard. SUPER. The feeling isn't relief, it's readiness. This is your first 90 days as a superhuman leader. First, remember that innovation is a team sport. Your first, most critical decision is to assign ownership. Who will lead your AI project? If it's a financial reporting tool, maybe the finance team should own it. The owner shapes the AI around their team's strengths. Second, find your Kyoto barista problem. Start small. Find one specific point of friction, one clear customer problem that AI can help you solve. Don't try to boil the ocean. A small, quick win builds momentum. Third, start building what I call your data dictionary. Get your teams talking about what data you have, where it lives, and what it means. You can't use a language you don't understand. Fourth, launch your first experiment. Be fearless.
The newer models use AI to map the rooms in your house, learning the most efficient cleaning patterns. The device, the company, the entire market category, none of it would exist without AI. They didn't just solve a problem, they created a category. This is the power you now hold. You are not just a manager or a leader anymore. You are an architect of innovation. Your job is to use these tools to build something new, and the results aren't always about return on investment or ROI. Sometimes it's about speed to market. Sometimes it's about customer satisfaction or employee retention. You must define what a win looks like and then aim all your efforts at that target. What is the number one strategic result your company needs to achieve in the next 18 months? Now, how could AI accelerate it? The model is complete. The tools are in your hand, but the final piece of the puzzle isn't the technology, it's you. Chapter 8, The Superhuman Leader. It's Tuesday again. They used AI to calculate thousands of possible flight paths to find the one that would work without running out of fuel. They used AI to turn an impossible idea into a reality. This is what I call actionable curiosity. Performance measures where you are. Experimentation discovers where you could go. So what is one impossible problem in your industry that you could start experimenting on with a small AI test? Chapter 7, From Actionable Curiosity to Real Results. In business, curiosity is wonderful. Experiments are exciting, but they don't pay the bills. The R in our framework stands for results, and results are the only thing that counts. AI projects shouldn't be measured by their technical elegance, but by the tangible business results they deliver. Look at iRobot, the company behind the Roomba. They didn't just improve the vacuum cleaner, they built an entirely new company from an algorithm. Our KPI for the chatbot was how many support tickets it closed, so the AI learned to close tickets as fast as possible, often without solving the customer's problem. We built a tool to create silence, not satisfaction. AI has the incredible ability to both measure performance and optimize it. Think of a smart farm. Instead of a one-size-fits-all approach to fertilizer, sensors in the soil monitor nutrient levels.
The data is fed to an AI that directs resources only to the areas that need them. That's moving from guesswork to precision. It's measuring what matters. But what if you don't know where you're going yet? That's where E comes in, experimentation. Experimentation is your license to ask, what if? It's the most human skill, now amplified by AI. Look at SpaceX. Building a rocket that can only be used once is absurdly expensive. So they asked, what if we could land the boosters back on Earth?
There's a powerful tool called Quill. It uses AI to transform raw numerical data from a spreadsheet into a clear, written narrative. Think about that. It turns numbers into stories. This allows your team to spend their time discussing the insights from a report, rather than spending days personally compiling it. These two engines create a feedback loop. By using AI to understand your customers, you create better experiences. These experiences generate more data, which feeds back into the AI, helping you understand them even better. It is a perpetual motion machine for innovation. Chapter 6: P&E, the Compass and the Laboratory. Let's talk about my million-dollar bonfire. We blew the budget on a new customer service chatbot. We were so proud, but it was a complete disaster. Customers hated it. The tension in the boardroom was thick enough to choke on. What went wrong? We measured the wrong thing. This brings us to P for performance. You are what you measure.
Oftentimes, a patient discovers the severity of their illness only after they're already in the hospital. The damage is done. But what if conditions like heart failure could be predicted in advance? IBM is doing just that, using AI to mine huge amounts of patient data to find the subtle patterns, the hidden signals that precede a crisis. This isn't just about making things faster, it's about using speed to save lives. Speed frees up your human talent. AI chatbots can handle the most frequent, simple customer issues 24/7, delivering rapid answers. This leaves your human support team to handle the complex, nuanced, and emotional queries where they can provide real value. But speed without direction is just chaos. That's why you need understanding. Understanding is the end of guesswork. Instead of creating products for broad demographics, AI allows you to understand the psychographics, the specific wants and needs of individual customers. It's how Netflix knows what you want to watch next.
It provides the key performance indicators, the KPIs, that tell you if you're winning or losing. The fourth is E for experimentation. This is the laboratory. AI gives you the power to ask what if on a massive scale, to test hypotheses, simulate outcomes, and innovate without multi-million-dollar risks. And finally, the fifth letter is R for results. This is the destination, because in the end, the only thing that matters is the tangible, measurable impact on your business. Super is not a tech checklist. It is a business strategy framework that uses AI as its engine. So, which letter of the Super framework addresses your company's biggest weakness right now? Let's put this blueprint to work. Chapter 5: S and U, the twin engines of acceleration and insight. Let's talk about speed and understanding, the twin engines of your new innovation machine. First, speed. Think about medicine.
Before you write a single line of code or hire a single data scientist, you must remember this: strategy comes before software. AI is not a magic wand, it is an engine, and an engine without a destination is just a loud, expensive paperweight. That's why I created a simple framework, a way to guide your strategy and ensure your AI initiatives are tied to real business goals. It's called the Super Framework, 5 letters that act as your blueprint. SUPER. The first letter is S for speed. This is the engine. AI dramatically accelerates processes, just like Henry Ford's assembly line. It's about automating the repetitive to free up the creative. The second letter is U for understanding. This is your compass. AI allows you to understand your customers, your market, and your own operations on a profoundly deep level. It turns that mess of data into a clear map. The third is P for performance. This is the scoreboard. AI doesn't just do things, it measures things.
It can't be locked away in different departments, a problem we call the sin of silos. Imagine trying to write a novel when each letter of the alphabet is stored in a different locked room. It's impossible. So where does your data live? For many, it's in the cloud, using powerful services from companies like Amazon or Microsoft. This gives you incredible flexibility. For others, it's in a private server room, your own data castle. The where is less important than the how. How do you make it speak? How do you ensure it's clean, organized, and available? Because your company's ability to innovate is now capped by its ability to make its data talk. If your data could speak, what is the one question you would ask it about your business? Now that you can speak the language, you need a grammar, a structure for turning those words into action. Chapter 4, the SUPER Innovators Model.
And without that fuel, the most powerful AI is just a dumb rock. Chapter 3, Data is the New Language. You've probably heard the phrase, data is the new oil. It's a lazy metaphor, and it's wrong. Oil is a finite resource you burn. Data is an infinite resource you use to build. So let's use a better metaphor. Data isn't the new oil. Data is the new language. And right now, most companies are illiterate. I once stood with Dr. Julian Goldman at Massachusetts General Hospital. He showed me a patient chart that looked like a tangled mess of wires on a screen. "Somewhere in this noise," he said, his voice tight with frustration, "is a signal that could predict a heart attack 48 hours in advance, but we're drowning in the data." The race wasn't for more information, it was for a translator. AI is that translator. It's the tool that can listen to the language of your data and tell you what it means. But for AI to work, your data has to be accessible. Ford didn't invent the car. He invented the speed at which a car could be built. His real innovation wasn't a product, it was a process. AI is the 21st century's assembly line. It's a tool for augmenting human intelligence, for taking tedious, repetitive tasks and executing them at a scale and speed we can barely comprehend. This frees up your most valuable resource, your people, to focus on what humans do best: creativity, empathy, and complex problem solving. There are many kinds of AI, but think of them in simple terms. Some teach machines to talk, like the chatbots that can handle simple customer queries at any hour of the day. Others teach machines to see, analyzing images or videos for quality control on a manufacturing line. You're already using it all day. The simple truth is, AI is not some futuristic concept. It's the ghost in our modern machine, the invisible force already shaping our world. The tool is simple, but it feeds on a very specific fuel. Now, we must whisper to them with experiences that feel tailored to their specific wants and needs. In this new world, friction is the new failure. A clunky checkout process, a hard-to-find contact number. These aren't minor inconveniences anymore. They are reasons for your customer to abandon you completely and go to a competitor who makes their life easier. The single biggest threat to your business isn't your competitor. It's your customer's new expectations. Chapter 2. The Ghost in the Assembly Line. When you hear AI, what do you picture? A robot uprising? A scene from a sci-fi movie? Forget all of that. That's a Hollywood fantasy designed to sell tickets, not build businesses. AI isn't a brain, it's a tool. More specifically, it's a category of tools designed for pattern recognition and prediction. That's it.
Let me give you a better metaphor. Think of Henry Ford. He stood on the factory floor, surrounded not by robots, but by people. The air smelled of oil and sweat.
A few years ago, I walked into a tiny coffee shop in Kyoto. A young barista handed me my latte. "Duffy-san," she said, showing me her tablet. "Your usual. The AI says you might like the yuzu pastry today. It's popular with people who order oat milk." Let that sink in. My custom order in a shop I'd visited only once before. The global standard for personal service was being set right there by a part-time student with an iPad. This is the new reality. Your customers have already changed. The question is, have you? Their brains have been rewired by the seamless, predictive, instant experiences they have every day. Anytime you ask Siri the weather, get a recommendation from Netflix, or use a handy email response that Gmail provides, you're interacting with AI. It's no longer a novelty, it's the baseline expectation. And this expectation has shifted business from a monologue to a dialogue. We used to shout at customers with banner ads.
The call came on a Tuesday. I was running a major creative division, feeling on top of my game, when a client asked a simple question. A question about predictive analytics I couldn't answer. The silence on my end was deafening. That night, staring at my ceiling, I realized I was becoming a dinosaur. And that was the moment my obsession began. My obsession with demystifying artificial intelligence for people like us. People who build businesses, lead teams, and solve real-world problems. Welcome to Superhuman Innovation. I'm Chris Duffy. I'm not a tech guru. I'm a business leader who has made the mistakes, learned the hard lessons, and emerged with a map. This is that map. Together, we're going to stop being intimidated by AI and start using it as our most powerful tool for creating the future. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The New Customer Mandate.